Chapbooks.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my video. Today, I don't know. I messed up.
Hello, everybody. It's terrific. Thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. I got a package in the mailbox, a package, if you will, from Lividian Publications, and it's thin. It's rigid cardboard, and it's got what I think should be a couple of chapbooks in here. And these chapbooks I get as a Lividian Patreon subscriber. And I'm on a tier that gets all of the chapbooks. So there's one tier that's Brian James Freeman chapbooks, and you get all of the chapbooks that he publishes, or he writes. Not that he publishes, he writes his own stuff. Then there's another tier that's, I think, Lividian chapbooks or something like that, and you get all the chapbooks that he writes and he publishes, and such is that as that. And I've gotten quite a few of them, and I really dig the Lividian Publications chapbooks. And I think I know what I think I know in here. One of them should be two chapbooks, one of them being a Brian James Freeman chapbook, and then another being from another author, Bentley Little. Ever hear of him? And I've read Bentley Little. I've read one Bentley Little book, a book published by a limited edition, signed limited edition, published by Lividian Publications, and it was called The Store. And I kept the book. It's good enough to keep on the shelf. I kept the book, had mixed feelings about it. Most of the way through, I really loved the book. There were a couple of things, a couple of incidents that occurred in the book that I could not really stand. I think there was a particular incident in the book that you don't come back from. But anyway, that being said, I did enjoy the book enough to keep it, and I have The Store, and that's the only Bentley Little that I've read. But in this couple of chapbooks, there are two. One is a Bentley Little, why I'm mentioning that author, Bentley Little's Landscaping, and the other being Faith Will Ensure a Fruitful Growing Season by Brian James Freeman, owner of Lividian Publications, one of my absolute favorite publishers on God's green earth. Their big books are some of the best books, and then their chapbooks are some of the best chapbooks. But let's start right here. This one, they come in an envelope. They're enveloped in an envelope. Nice looking envelope. I'm going to take the book out. I keep my chapbooks from Lividian in the envelopes on the shelves. I don't know. The envelopes are cool. And it's an added layer of protection. But here is Faith Will Ensure a Fruitful Growing Season by Brian James Freeman. And there is the back. The artwork by, I must say, I have to say my favorite artiste on God's green earth. That's Francois Vaillancourt. And so here's the signature page signed by Brian James Freeman and Francois. And I'm covering some of the art with my fingers. But there you go. The digital art is fabulous and phenomenal. And I think that would be digital. This signed special edition is limited to 500 copies. So there are 500 copies. They're not individually numbered. And there you have it. Fantastic artwork. Faith Will Ensure. And you can see how they're constructed. It's not a staple. This would be, what do they call this? Perfect bound, I think. Is that right? Perfect bound? Perfect. It's perfect. Just perfect. But much like a book is, you've got it's too blurry to see. They're glued into the spine there. So anyway, perfect binding is the phrase of the day, and I don't even know if I'm using it correctly. Faith will ensure a fruitful growing season. And here we go. Private Printing 2025, Lividian Publications. And I've got several of these Brian James Freeman chapbooks, and I dig it. I dig the author. I dig the publisher for sure. And I like getting them in the mail. They're brief, quick reads and neat. They're easy to store on the shelf. They don't take up a lot of space. Here's a little bit two-color printing there. A little bit what to expect when you open that book up. And the chapbook to do some reading. But there are also more interior illustrations that I want to show you. When it comes to Francois Vaillancourt, I don't want to miss a thing. So it just looks so good, so sweet, so dandy. And look at here. Man, fantastic artwork. It looks so good. What I want to find out now, is there anything in here? And then there's the back, the back of the page here. But that's Faith Will Ensure a Fruitful, Growing Season, a story I have not read, and I cannot tell you what the story is even about. It came in the mailbox today. Glad to have it. Let me, this will go right back in the envelope and on a stack of Brian James Freeman chapbooks that I have in the collection already as a part of this Patreon deal. And then here we got Bentley Little. I told you about the book that I read from Bentley Little. It's the store, and this is landscaping. Again, that envelope is nice, a nice added touch to the chapbook endeavor. And then here we go again. I'm pretty sure, we'll verify it, but I'm pretty sure this also being Francois Vaillancourt artwork. And man, the back looks so good. The contrast. Oh, it's a nice, beautiful, sunshiny day. And how the darkness can change things. And then, ooh, look inside that window. Spooky, the poet laureate of horror, according to Stephen King. That is Bentley Little. And here is, oh man, the Francois Vaillancourt artwork. And there's the signature page signed by Bentley Little, Francois Vaillancourt. And again, I'm thinking, yep, this special signed edition is limited to 500 copies. Once again, not individually numbered, but indeed limited. So the Patreon subscribers get them. I'm not sure what else happens. I don't know. I don't think there's 500 Patreon subscribers. Maybe there are. I don't know. I'm sure some are given away as promos. Perhaps some are sold on the website. I don't know. But I do suggest at least getting in. And here's, man, see the added touches to these chapbooks. They're not just your ordinary chapbook. There's so much more. So much more to the reading experience. And again, look at this artwork. So in terms of chapbooks, these are kind of like the Cadillacs of the chapbook. These are the fancy versions of the chapbook publishing method. I don't know what you would call that. Oeuvre. I like to use that word even though I don't know what it means. We'll say it anyway. And man, it just looks so good. And the chapbook itself, including artwork and all, 26 pages. And there is the back end paper, the back inside cover flap, whatever you call that thing there. But there are a couple of Lividian Publications chapbooks, and they do deliver, and they're the good stuff. I strongly recommend checking out the Brian James Freeman Patreon deal. I'll put a link in the description. You can go check it out for yourself. See what you can get. There are many tiers, from $5 a month up to many dollars a month. They all have good stuff. Brian James Freeman is a publisher. And so Patreon is another way for him to sell books, essentially. A lot of times Patreon is to help support somebody. And that's a great thing and a great cause. And I love the opportunity for authors and other folks of all sorts to be able to get added financial support from their fans and things like that. I feel like the Brian James Freeman Patreon, it's still part of the business, adding money, but it's just another way for him to, in a way, sell books and sell chapbooks. And so you really get value, true value. It's not a matter of him having to clear a certain dollar amount and trying to make a ton, like a publisher pays to have books published and sells the books and hopes to make a profit on it. This is another way for him to do the same thing. So in reality, you're paying a subscription and you're getting a value for the money you're paying in, just like if you were buying. Now you are getting books that maybe you don't know about. And I view that as a great opportunity because you're getting a great value. You're getting amazing, beautiful, well-made limited edition illustrated stuff, and some of it you're really gonna love, and some of it has tons of value. I've seen some of the chapbooks sell for a couple $100. Now, I'm not saying that these are going to sell for a couple $100, but I've seen some on eBay sell for a couple $100. And these are chapbooks that you get with a small, measly monthly subscription. And then some of the higher tiers where you can get all of the numbered editions that he publishes. Every single one just gets shipped to you automatically. And then there's other ones where you get all of Brian James Freeman's books, and you get them shipped to you automatically, and different things like that. So there's a lot of different options, and I strongly recommend you check it out, see what you get. You get a lot of things, and I really dig it. I'm a fan. If there's one Patreon subscription that I want to try to maintain indefinitely, indubitably, it is the Brian James Freeman Patreon. And with that being said, I can think of no more lies to tell, so thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it, and c'est la vie, baby. Doo-doo.